Hey, welcome back, Big Whist America fans. You are fired. Guess what? We got somebody who have heard those words right here. One of ATL's own, Miss Marshawn Evans. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Despite the fact that you just reminded me that I've been fired. It's all good.
Well, you know, season 4 on Apprentice. How was it?
You know, it was a great experience. You have an opportunity to be challenged by some of the brightest, most professional young people in the country, and so it was good to be in the fight.
Let me ask you this. Donald Trump, I know you got close to him. I mean, when he said you was fired, I mean, did you want to, like, you know, I'm going to get him?
You know, to be honest with you, like when it first happens, you want to jump right across the boardroom table and snatch that hair off his head, but it's actually his own, so you can't do that.
I'm sorry, back up. It's his own, because he paid for it, or because it's his own hair, like growing from his roots?
It's actually his hair. A lot of people ask if it's a toupee or if it's, I mean, you see it and it's a really bad comb over, and you wonder how anyone could really do that with their own hair, but it's his own.
See, we give you the good news. We don't just talk about Bid Whist. We get to find out here the true nitty-gritty about the important stuff, right?
So, Marshawn, one of the questions I had to ask you was, how was it working with Donald Trump?
Wow, well, it's an amazing experience. A lot of people always ask, is he as serious and as tough and as stern in person? And I always say yes, because he is. But he's much nicer than what most people think, too. It's just not part of his image, so they don't show that much on TV.
Do he have any type of remorse after with firing you guys? I mean, do he come back and say, hey, girl, you know, look, I had to do what I had to do. You know, I'm a little sorry, but, you know.
I don't think he's ever sorry for firing anyone. I think that for him, it kind of feeds along with his image, and it's a competition. Somebody has to go every week, and that's just part of the game, part of life. Plus, with the industry that he's in real estate, you have to deal with rejection all the time, and you lose bids, you don't always win, and that's just part of life. And so, to him, I'm sure firing is probably one of the least things that's happened to him over his life. So it's probably not that big a deal to Donald.
Shayna, that's kind of like Bid Whist, you know. You either in or you're out. You know, you're either up or you're down. You either winning or you're not. So
exactly, and I know sometimes even in Bid Whist, you kind of think you're out, but then you realize you get a chance to come back. So, Marshawn, I know you had actually kind of gotten fired just before the finals, but you came back. They asked you to come back, right?
That's a great segue. I didn't even think about comparing it that way, but it really is. You know, I was on the show about 8 weeks before I got fired. And this was the first time that Donald allowed the final 2 people to pick their team members that they wanted to help them in the finals. And so Randall, who ended up winning the entire competition, brought me back. I called myself the first lady of Team Excel because I was the only woman that he brought back. But it was a great experience because you go through this really intense process. It doesn't turn out the way that you like, but you see that someone else still recognizes your talent. And it was a great opportunity.
That's great, and you helped him to win it all, right?
He wouldn't have won without me. You know Randall.
And so what did he do to reward you for that?
Well, I mean, I think the reward was really just being in it because I really wanted to see the first African-American win the show. I think that Randall was certainly qualified to be able to win. He had all wins, no losses, as opposed to his opponent, and just to be a part of that was important to me. When you look back at season 1, we had Kwame and Omarosa, and they were fighting and working against each other. And I don't believe that that's how, in corporate America, that's not how I work with my relationships, and I know that's not reflective of us as a community either. And so it was very important, one, to display the positive characteristics and strong characteristics of African-American women in business, but also to show that black men and black women work together and we're stronger together when we work in business as well.
Isn't she so sweet? Isn't she so nice? It's so congenial, right?
Yes.
So let's think, Miss Congeniality, you guys remember that? So that's probably one of the reasons why this face is so familiar to you. She was the 2001 Miss District of Columbus. She was in a Miss America pageant.
DC! I'm DC, my home state. She represented.
How was it representing the District of Columbia in the Miss America pageant?
Wow.
Well, I don't think that there's any greater honor than representing your nation's capital. And I got to represent Washington, D.C. at the 2001 Miss America competition, which was actually during September 11th. And so we were there, the first day of rehearsals was actually September 11th, and so you're there, you are going for somewhat selfish reasons because you want to win, and then this national tragedy happens which completely changes your perspective. And so for me, I got to perform on the final night in front of 22 million people to the song I Will Survive. I'm not a singer, Just so you know, so don't ask.
I was saying.
I knew you were. I was a competitive baton twirler. I actually won the talent competition, first time a twirler had ever won, and won the interview competition and got to perform on the final night, I Will Survive. And that's why I was supposed to be there, to send the message that we will not crumble, we will not lay down and die. And there's a lot of things that we go through in life. We think that we're there for one reason, but we turn out to be there for another. And that was the time that I was called for.
Now, Marshawn, I know that you do a lot of things in the community and giving back. So I'm going to relate this to the Miss America pageant because we know most Miss America pageant contestants, their platform is world peace, right? What was your platform?
My platform was a little bit different. My platform is youth crime prevention, United Against Crime, investing in youth for a safer future. And I know you're a former cop.
Yes.
And, really working with young people to make sure they make positive choices so they can stay out of the system. I'm a lawyer, and so I've done criminal defense, and I've worked with kids, and I want to make sure that they don't get to me where they need me as their attorney, that they need me to help them negotiate a merger and acquisition for a business deal later on, not for representation in the criminal justice system.
Wow, that means you speak all over the country then. How do people get in contact with you if they wanted to hire you for a professional speaker?
Well, I do professional development and peak performance trainings for corporations around the country. And I also do kind of leadership development training for young people as well. And I have a website, of course. It's marshawn.com, marshawn.com. And you can send me an email there. You can find out about if I'm coming to a city near you. If you're interested in bringing my team in to do a consulting or training, we're certainly available.
All right. Well, I know you know how to get in touch with her. But I know Sharks are planning one day on having a beauty contest. We just can't let Shayna win it hands down. So will you be interested? She has no competition. No competition.
See that?
But I think she wants that competitive thing. Shayna has it. So will you be interested in entering the Sharks beauty contest?
I'll host an MC. I'll co-host an MC.
All right.
Right, because right now you're actually co-hosting. Which pageant is that?
Well, I got to co-host the Miss Georgia competition. I hosted Miss Black USA. And hosting the Miss Dallas competition coming up. So I enjoy being in front of a live audience and doing that more and being on the other side.
Great. Now, you guys have Marshawn's email address. You have her website, but that doesn't mean to call her to go out on a date. Don't call her and say, hey, I saw the Miss Georgia pageant. Hook me up with Decatur. Don't do that. Don't say, hook me up with Miss Decatur, Miss Jonesboro, Miss Morrow. Seriously, this is a serious woman. She's not just beautiful. She has a lot of brains too, right? So if you're going to contact her and log onto her website, take a look and see where her seminars are.
Invite her to your bid whist party. She's learning how to play. The whist master is teaching her. She just got a book. What can I say?
Just wait. Once I learn how to play, it's no holding back.
All right. Slam, I might got a new partner. And you're watching Bid Whist Across America.
Peace.
This is Marshawn Evans from Miss America and The Apprentice, and you're watching Bid Whist Across America.